everybody, welcome to my very first episode of Biscuits of Britain and beyond. I am so excited for this. I've been waiting to do this episode for so long, since this box arrived. But I've not looked. I did have a little peek at the letter, but I don't know what biscuits are in there. I do know there are 4 packets of biscuits, so I'll be doing 2 episodes of Biscuits of Britain and beyond. So, what should I do first? Don't know if I should make the tea and let it brew. My paper's down there. I need that. Yeah, I'll make the tea and brew it first. I'll just get my paper while this boils. I'm trying a new little setup today, which is a camera over there, my microphone over here. So I am going to be talking in this corner, which might be rather odd. But when Daisy filmed her episode of Biscuits of Britain, you could barely see what's on the table, and I know a lot of people like to see what's down here. Heavy. So let's break out the box. Because her address is on the back there. I've not actually read the letter. It says, "Dear Angel, I hope these biscuits find you well and that they are all in one piece. They are a selection of biscuits from New Zealand. I was thinking, because I've obviously got the British flag up, I was thinking, oh, it'd be good if I could have a flag of the country where the biscuits come from, but that would just be too much, and I'd have to know where the biscuits came from. And if someone were to send them and it didn't have too much information, it was a really obscure flag, I'd struggle. So I put a digital one. It was hard to narrow down the selection, as we are also a country that loves our biscuits. I like New Zealand. There are a couple of good chocolatey ones, as well as honest tea biscuits. We have our version of tea cakes called mallow puffs. Those ones are particularly fancy and have caramel in them, so enjoy. I'll stop now before I spoil the whole box. Thank you so much for your contribution to the ASMR community and Biscuits of Britain. It's by far my favourite thing ever. Keep up the amazing work. You are a real treasure. From Lauren, and she is the Roslette on YouTube. I will link her channel in my description. She's put some random fan on the other side of the world. Oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so excited. Right, I'll put that there. So there are some mallow puffs in here, whatever those are. They sound like Tunnocks tea cakes with caramel in. Cookie Bear Shrewsbury. These are the ones. I did think this is Shreddies. Magic in the middle. Oh, right. It's a nice crinkly packaging here. I have never tried Tams. Oh my god, I'm so excited. Chocolate crispy, delicious toasted coconut. Oh, they sound gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Puffs. Oh my goodness, they look exactly like Tunnocks. Obviously they've got caramel in. Delicious. Mallow puffs collided with decadent Toffee Pops. Ah, so there must be like a biscuit called Toffee Pops. They've got a good crinkle. Take them out. So decide is which two are going to go through the test today and which ones are going to be next time. I think the Choc Crispy and the Cookie Bear Shrewsbury are probably the most similar to each other. So it's them two, head to head, and these two. But which one should I try today? It's gotta be those. Right, I'll move these. Right. Just get my cup of tea. I wash these out after each Biscuits of Britain, but then I store it in like a cupboard upstairs because this is where this room is. And I think there's bits of dust that get everywhere. That's really odd. It's also ready. Shush, that's really noisy and irritating. Have a taste. Which one to look at first? Oh God, I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Tams. Okay, so we can't just eat them. I have to go through my rigorous testing. But I want to read them first. So they're by Arnott's. These are limited edition Tim Tams by Adriano Zumbo, and they're red velvet. Is this the normal packaging for people who live in New Zealand and Australia who know what Tim Tams are like? Is this your bog standard way to package it? Not necessarily the colours, but is it always like this? Because I was always led to believe that Tim Tams were like penguins, and penguins are individually wrapped. Are these individually wrapped? Okay, let's have a listen. I don't think the packaging is particularly good. It's quite a low noise. I would say a 2. 2 out of 5. So we have Tim Tams and Collisions. So we have the wrapper and Tim Tams gets a 2. It's a lot. It's like a higher crinkle, the sound. That makes sense. I would give this a 3. So for wrapper, Collisions gets a 3. Then we have crunch, texture, taste and dunk. Crunch. Okay, so like normal, I've opened them up because opening them up is just so noisy. But I've not actually looked inside yet. I've just opened them. So they're not individually wrapped. Crunch. Oh, they're smaller than I thought. Definitely smaller. They smell like quite a sweet, sickly chocolate. Like a chocolate that you would just stuff your face with because it's very sweet, but then afterwards you're like, oh, I've eaten too much. I'm gonna have to have a taste when I have the crunch. Oh my god, they're lovely. I've just got to show you this. And I don't think it'll focus very well, but that's what the inside looks like. Crunch. That was a good crunch. I would say a 3 for the crunch. It wasn't like a hard snap like the Marxie's Gingies were. It had a nice crunch, and then the cream in the middle kind of evened that out. I'm also going to do texture, so we have 3 for crunch. Texture. All the elements work really well together. You've got the smoothness of the chocolate against your tongue, and the biscuits are really nice, kind of crumbly, crunchy biscuit once you eat it, and then the cream inside kind of gets in everything and makes it softer and No, I'm not gonna have these. So, crunch is 3. Texture, I would say texture's a 3.5. I'm going to do taste on this one before I move on to the other one because I don't want them mixing. So taste. They're really nice. I'm actually trying to find out, like trying to figure out in my head what they taste similar to, and it's not penguins at all. I think penguins have a very distinct taste, and they're not like penguins. They look the same as penguins, but they're not. I don't know. I can't think of what they're similar to. I think the cream in the middle is quite a powerful, like vanilla taste, and I think that might be giving off a sense that it's similar to something. Taste. They were nice. The cream was nice. They weren't amazing, best ones in the world. I would still have a gold bar over that. But they were nice. I don't know whether to give them a 6.5 or a 7. I don't think I've given a biscuit a 10 yet. I can't be sure. I'm going to give them a 6.5. I think's good. I don't want to be overly jealous just because I'm super excited that they're Tim Tams. So taste is 6.5. I don't want to dunk them. Usually I'll dunk them and the bit that falls off goes to waste, and I don't want to waste them. Let's have a look at what these look like. Let's have a look at what these look like. Well, that's the whole idea of looking at them. Oh, one got squashed. One got all squished. I'll eat this one. Well, to look at it first. So that's what they look like. They've got this little bobbly stuff around the side, which I'm guessing is on purpose. Chocolate. The chocolate smell reminds me of chocolate in an advent calendar. Just wipe my nose on it. Okay. Or should I do the dunk test with that one? I'll do that dunk test with that one. I can't see the squishy top bit being much of a hindrance to it. Okay, so crunch. I have no idea what the texture and crunch is going to be like. I don't know if it's hard biscuit or like a shortbready biscuit, like in a Tonics. Oh, excited. Just going to rinse my palette, clear my palette. I didn't think biscuit eating could get much more exciting. But it turns out when you have biscuits and you've no idea what they taste like and no idea what the texture is, it's even more exciting. Here we go. With no crunch. I'm afraid it fails on the crunch front. I'm going to give it a 0. There was no crunch. These, who were they by? there's they're not tonics, but there is a company who make stuff pretty much exactly like this. The base is soft, and the marshmallow is like spongy, like this is. In a tonics tea cake, the marshmallowy stuff isn't spongy, it just gets all over your face, whereas this is quite spongy and buoyant. I don't know if it's buoyant, it might not be, just a word that came to mind. But these are very similar to another brand. Right, texture. The texture, it's very, I feel like I'm giving away my feelings and my facial expressions. I'm very funny about textures in everything I eat, and I'm not loving the mix of the soft. I think it'd be nice if it was really crunchy. I'm not loving, see if I can show you, when I would fall to bits. The soft base just isn't doing it for me. And the spongy marshmallow isn't either. So, texture, it's a 1.5. Oh dear. Now taste. I'm really struggling to actually taste the caramel. The chocolate is very, very overpowering, very strong. The Tim Tams were kind of milk chocolate, whereas the chocolate in the collisions, the mallow puffs or whatever they're called, it's very, very strong. The marshmallow is pretty much exactly the same as the ones that we have over here, and it's a very, very strong taste. And I'm not tasting the Toffee Pops here. Let me get you out, Toffee Pop. Have a bit of a taste. Open it up there. Let's see if I can. This is going to be messy. Right, we've got some toffee there. Choke. Oh, now I can taste it. I feel bad. I feel bad giving them a low score, because I feel like I'm giving Lauren a lower score. Lauren, I love you forever for sending me these. The scores that I give these biscuits are not a reflection of how I feel about you, but I feel like I owe it to my viewers and the biscuit community to give these biscuits an honest score, an honest personal score. Obviously there'll be people out there who this is their favourite biscuit. I didn't really enjoy them. I would eat them if I was hungry, but I would never pick them up myself. The chocolate and the marshmallow were very overpowering. I'm going to try just the biscuity base. The biscuity base isn't particularly nice. However, they're nowhere near as bad as Toffee Dodgers. They are a whole other story. I would give them a 4 out of 10. And Mallow Puffs. Sorry, buddy. Not doing too well, are you? Now, there's the dunk test. And I always get this wrong. I always think, I know what's going to happen. And I have no idea what's going to happen this time. And even if I thought I knew what was going to happen, I'd be wrong because I'm always wrong. So let's just get on with the test and see what happens. Okay, so I've got my cups here. And always, for anyone who wonders why I use boiling water rather than tea, it's because for scientific purposes they're trying to keep this as even as possible. So if I put tea in, it might be different temperatures, or I might struggle to get the same exact temperature every time with the thermometer. So I have freshly boiled water, and that is as close as I'm going to get it, I guess. So, Tim Tam is first. 1, 2. Okay. Chocolate's melted off, which is to be expected. I definitely think this can go for double dunk. 1, 2. This Tim Tam could go for a third, but I'm not going to do it. Okay. So the Tim Tam scores 3 because it could go for a double dunk. See if you can redeem yourself, Mallow Puff. 1, 2. Chocolate's melted. Could definitely go for a double. Yep. So both the Mallow Puff and the Tim Tam are kings of the dunking, and they've both went with double dunks. like to know the scores? I don't think it's going to be any surprise who won. With 18, and in first place are Tams, and in second place, with a score of 11.5, were the Mallow Puffs and Toffee Pops collisions. I thought I would love these because I love Tunnocks tea cakes, but these are more like another brand that we get in this country, but I'm not familiar what they're called because I don't really buy them that often, but I do know which biscuit they taste exactly like. And although we're not prejudiced at Biscuits of Britain, I've said this before, we accept biscuits of all shapes, colour, sizes. They do get judged, and unfortunately the Tim Tams came out on top. I'm sorry, Mallow Puffs. I know, you weren't expecting this when you came to Britain. You thought, just gonna go for a ride, go to Britain, and then here you are in this room, and I'm judging you. I'm judging you on your texture and your taste, and I feel bad. I do, but that's life. That's life on Biscuits of Britain and beyond. I would like to thank you all for watching. I always try and put that down very carefully. Thank you to Lauren, who was our sponsor of the day, essentially, because she's provided these biscuits. I will be trying the other ones that I opened in the next episode, and let's see where they fare against these guys. I have decided to do 2 separate scoreboards rather than have one. I've got 2 separate ones, so Biscuits of Britain and then the Beyond Biscuits, to see who tops those. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you got some tingles, and I hope that if you have these biscuits at home, you joined in, and I will see you next time. See you later.